Probably do the entrada of the three pieces if we wanted to, and then that would be about it.
It's going viral.
Okay, we'll just wait till the chimes. So then right after they chime 10, we just start. So we don't have to wait for a signal. Okay. And she's not the best at signaling. Yesterday she came in with my voice. Exactly. Keep going or should I stop? I was like, dude, she'd just come up and pat me on the shoulder. She'd say, she'd stand right behind me. You can stop. See, this one's the best. Dimples are from school. So what movie are we gonna go see?
What's out?
You've seen the stuff I want to see. With Drew.
The Marvel.
Yeah.
I never saw that Johnny Depp movie. I kind of want to see. It got horrible reviews.
What the
Transcendence. He merges with a computer.
his parents?
I know, right?
Tuition girls stop. Yes.
There's a new X-Men coming out this weekend.
I'd go see it. I'm not big. I mean, I'm not. I like him. I'm
Yeah.
not. I'm not.
I think what other previews I've seen? Godzilla.
Did you see that? I think that was supposed to be pretty.
Good morning, everyone. Please be seated. Honored graduates of the class of 2014, parents, family members, and friends, members of the University Board of Trustees, and members of the faculty and staff, welcome to Washington & Lee's 2014 commencement ceremony. Our commencement ceremony at Washington & Lee is different from other places. We see it as a time for celebration and reflection and not as our last shot to teach you life's lessons and suddenly spring upon you the revelation that the world is a treacherous place and now you must go forth and cope. Geopolitical strife, poverty, injustice, global climate change, human rights, cybersecurity, and the 2014 congressional election campaigns all await you in just a couple of hours. So good luck. Actually, those are important messages, but we believe you know it. Our faculty has strived mightily to make those points, and if we have not gotten through these last 4 years, it's too late now. So let's enjoy the day with families and friends and celebrate your accomplishments and the incredible potential you carry with you in the years ahead. At Washington & Lee, we think of commencement as neither a beginning nor an end. It is simply one day we allow ourselves the luxury to stop and pause and understand the longer journey. Just a brief word to the parents. A couple of years ago at another college far, far from here, I sat where you are sitting today, trying desperately to listen to the college president as he made his way through the commencement ritual. But it was impossible, as Kim and I, ourselves parents of a graduate, surrendered to the memories of the kindergarten drop-off, the first report card, the 6th grade recital, the 8th grade moving up ceremony, the first and last high school lacrosse games, the first girlfriend who wasn't the last, the broken bones, the freshman orientation, the internship, the friends my son made, the achievements and the setbacks. They all went by in a blur. As parents, we understand this milestone. 4 years ago, when I welcomed you to Washington & Lee community here at Lee Chapel, I boldly predicted that the 4 years would go quickly, that there would be a few bumps along the way, and that no matter how mature and smart your sons and daughters seemed at the time, they would amaze you at the time of graduation. You were proud then, and probably a little anxious as well. You are even prouder today, but in truth, still a little anxious. Anxiety is one of the things parents do best. But on this special day in the lives of your families, on this day of all days, sincere and genuine pride transcends all other emotions, and I thank you once again for entrusting us with the most cherished parts of your lives. To the graduates, in September of 2010, I welcomed you here to Washington & Lee. At that time, your accomplishments here at Washington & Lee and your contributions to the university were zero. Now I look back and I think of things, the all-conference mentions, the all-American mentions, scholar-athlete awards, the performances in Wilson and Lenfest halls, the exhibitions in Stanier, the community projects and the research projects, the Gates, Luce, and Fulbright postgraduate fellowships, and several others. And later this afternoon, some commissions in the U.S. Army. I look at all of that and much, much more, and I see that you have filled that blank slate tremendously well. We have come to know and admire you so much during these last 4 years, but especially this year. It has been one with too much loss. We take note today of your classmate, Kelsey Durkin, whose memory we honor with a presidential degree that will be presented to her parents in the days ahead. There have been other losses this year. In the law school, Laura Goss, a third-year student. And there have been yet other losses, individuals who are not members of this community, but who are close to those who are. I want us to remember all of them today. I want us also to remember the lesson we learned, the legacy they left us, which is the importance of being in a community where people care about each other. None of us could have gotten through it alone. During our most difficult days, your compassion for others proved to be the strength we needed. You demonstrated virtue, character, and love, and you called upon the finest qualities of this university. Think always of Kelsey, Laura, and others, but think also of the lessons of friendship and compassion they taught us. It is now time to point out a few special recognitions. Next to your families, those of you graduating today probably owe your education to the faculty and staff more than to any other single group. Members of the faculty and staff have guided you, gently admonished you, supported you, and sometimes been absolutely shocked at what you have achieved. Would the faculty and staff please stand? And I extend my thanks to all of them as well. And lest we forget, a very special thanks to the facilities management crew. They were up bright and early yet again this morning. They will be here right after you leave. The incredible setup they provide and the way they take it down so efficiently is the last and most meaningful of the many gifts they have provided to you during your tenure here. So we thank them as well. All of the members of the faculty and staff contribute significantly to the education of our students, but it is customary at this time to single out for special thanks faculty and staff who will retire at the end of this academic year. Each has served the university and all of our students with distinction, but I will ask each retiree to rise when I call his or her name, position, and the number of years of service devoted to Washington and Lee, and then ask them to remain standing until all are recognized. And I'd ask that you hold your applause until all the names have been announced. Dimphna Alexander, an administrative assistant in the music department, 25 years. Bill and Maureen Becker, university store co-directors, 10 years. Diane Cochran, administrative assistant in the law school, 18 years. Wayne Connor, lead custodian, 45 years. Virginia Cropper, administrative assistant in career development, 10 years. Ann Massey, professor of law, 26 years. Greta McCoffrin, instructor of Russian, 30 years. Chris Miller, assistant director, financial aid, 10 years. And last, not least, and certainly not alphabetically, Harlan Beckley, professor of religion and founder and former director of the Shepherd Program for Interdisciplinary Study of Poverty and Human Capability, 40 years. Collectively, these fine individuals have accumulated 224 years of service. I now call your attention to the printed program. There you will find recorded a list of students who have won special honors and awards. And I commend to you a careful reading of this part of the program. Those honors and awards represent dozens of stories of individuals who excelled in many ways. But I want to call specific attention to the senior who has achieved the highest academic standing and is designated by the faculty as class valedictorian. With a grade point average that even I can calculate with precision, it's a 4.0. This year's valedictorian is Jordan Kearns from Nicholasville, Kentucky. Jordan, I'll ask you to stand in a moment, but let me say something about Jordan. He's going to receive 2 degrees today, one from the Williams School for his major in politics, and the other from the college for his major in physics and engineering. A member of Phi Beta Kappa, he's done fairly well in the classroom, but he has also excelled outside the classroom. He's a Johnson Scholar, the head RA, and this year helped launch our Leadership and Engagement House. Until a couple of days ago, he planned to attend graduate school at MIT, but that's going to have to wait for a year. Jordan just learned he was awarded a prestigious Fulbright Fellowship to Estonia to pursue a research project entitled Improving Oil Shale Technology to Provide Energy Security to Estonia and the United States. Jordan, will you please stand so we can congratulate you? At this point in the graduation exercises, W&L's tradition privileges us with the opportunity to hear from the president of the student body. Nathan Kelly is a politics and economics double major from Edinburgh, Pennsylvania, serving in his 3rd year on the executive committee. Nathan is a member of Lambda Chi Alpha. He is a peer counselor and has been active in the mock convention. In his capacity as student body president, I worked closely with Nathan this year and came to admire his judgment, his focus, and his own sense of honor. He has been a great student leader. Nathan, we look forward to your comments.
Thank you, President Ruscio, and good morning to all of you. I'm humbled to stand before you this morning and filled with much emotion as we commemorate the commencement of the class of 2014. Charles Flood, in his book Lee, the Last Years, records a story for the commencement of the class of 1867. As then President Robert E. Lee sat on the podium, one of the town children came up and sat at his feet. As the speaker droned on, the little boy grew tired and fell asleep. So as not to disturb him, Lee executed his responsibilities while sitting down. I promise to be brief, but if you should happen to fall asleep, know that you aren't the first. Just hope that the person sitting next to you will allow you to sleep until the diplomas. For it isn't any speech that makes today special. It is the milestone of a hard-won diploma. As we receive these diplomas, we must recognize that this is not only a recognition of our accomplishments, but a symbol of trust placed within us, a symbol of trust for tomorrow. As we gather here, we are mindful that not everyone scheduled to graduate with the class of 2014 will face tomorrow with us. For this class especially, the loss of Kelsey Durkin weighs heavily on our hearts. Today, her place in our lineup is marked by 4 lilies, and her place in our hearts is marked by blue ribbons. May we be ever mindful to live our lives in the vibrant manner in which she lived hers. In his history of the university, alumnus Blaine Brownwell tells the story of others who were trusted with tomorrow. In the years leading up to the 1954 football season, Washington and Lee was one of the premier football teams in the country, going to the Gator Bowl and playing the likes of Alabama, Auburn, Clemson, Georgia, and Tennessee, among others. Washington and Lee fielded teams that featured several future NFL players and saw nationally renowned success. So when 12 football players and 3 others were accused of cheating on an exam, the community was shaken. If there was ever pressure to discontinue the honor system and abandon its principles for tomorrow, it was then. But at the end of a 4-day hearing, the executive committee emerged with a verdict. Every player was found guilty and, barring an appeal, was required to leave the university immediately. In the only meeting we have of its kind on record, the executive committee president explained the verdict to the student body gathered in Lee Chapel. As the president concluded the fate-filled remarks, the student body rose in ovation. Why would the student body take such a bold stand? because they realized that they were entrusted with tomorrow, entrusted with ensuring that the system of honor, so central to this institution, would be handed down to future generations. They refused to break that trust. Today, we give thanks for this hallowed place, its cherished traditions, and the experiences that have transformed us. As a result of them, we are sending our members far and wide, some taking Fulbright fellowships, others going to top law schools, still others pursuing various graduate degrees, MD programs, and demanding jobs from coast to coast and beyond. The members of the class of 2014 have the privilege of standing at the fore of society as leaders on the brink of tomorrow. As someone about to graduate, at least I hope one of these is for me, I can attest to the fact that standing on the brink is a little scary. We wonder if we are ready to step out onto the world stage, to throw our lot in with society and see where we can take it. But in those moments, we would do well to remember that we have learned at the feet of some of the greatest minds in the world. And while it is true that we have often played as hard as we worked, we have earned a degree from an institution that has prepared prominent and impactful alumni for generations. As graduates of Washington and Lee, we step boldly into tomorrow, trusted to use our education to make a positive impact in the lives of others. In addition, we are trusted to step into tomorrow with honor and integrity, for we are a school of two standards, ability and integrity. In the world today, we treat politicians, bankers, lawyers, and others with severe distrust and skepticism, not for any lack of ability, but for a lack of integrity. Fortunately, we have been handed a tradition of honor and integrity that contradicts and counteracts this tide of distrust. As trustees of this sacred tradition, we must carry it into the world of tomorrow. Doing so will rarely be easy. Many times the pressure to cut corners, tell lies, and get ahead through underhanded means will seem overwhelming, but we have been more than adequately prepared. Earlier this year, I was at a conference for student-run honor systems. There, a faculty member from another school gave a speech, the point of which was to encourage schools with honor systems to remove temptations from students. Take-home tests and the like seemed foolish and unwise to him. He then said they were struggling to find ways to prepare their students for the world outside, a world where doing the right thing wouldn't seem so easy. I chuckled to myself a little because the answer seemed obvious, for it is one we know well at Washington and Lee. Our ability to counter those temptations has been chiseled into us from day one. In every environment, our experiences have been underpinned by the trust that we will behave with honesty and integrity. In office hours at Lexco or debates in fraternity or sorority dinner, in hikes on the AT or service at campus kitchens, in mock con or resident advising, we have been trusted to behave honorably, and through this trust, we have been transformed. We are now trusted to lead tomorrow with honesty and integrity. We are also trusted to remember that we did not arrive here on our own. Whether through the generosity of donors, our parents, or other close friends and family, we've had the privilege of attending Washington and Lee. Through the wise and patient instruction of faculty, we have been prepared for tomorrow. And through the work of administration and staff, our environment has liberated our thought and development. As we go forward, we must never forget those who made our experience here possible, so that in turn we might ensure that future generations of students have the same experience, that they are trusted with tomorrow. As we leave this magical place, I can't help but think of one of my favorite book series, The Chronicles of Narnia. It's about a magical land in which people from our own world enter from time to time. At the end of the third book, Aslan, a god figure, informs two of the main characters, Lucy and Edmund, that they won't come back to Narnia, saying, "You are too old, children, and you must begin to come close to your own world now." Lucy and Edmund have been queen and king in Narnia, but in our world, they are children about to become adults. Today, we are all Lucy and Edmund, There is no question that we have lived like kings and queens at Washington and Lee. But now it is time to draw close to our own world. Like Lucy and Edmund, we have been prepared and transformed in a magical land, the land of the Shenandoah Valley. In the coming days, weeks, and months, we will, as the song says, long to see the Shenandoah. In that longing, there will be sadness. Sadness for the proximity of close friends, good times, great memories, and midnight sprints along the colonnade. But in that sadness, let us be not unmindful of the future. Let us go forth realizing that as graduates of this institution, we are uniquely trusted with tomorrow. It is our duty to live up to this trust, and I am confident that we will do so. Thank you.
Nathan, thank you for your words today. Thank you also for your leadership over these last 4 years, and we wish you well. I'll have to find out about the midnight sprints along the colonnade. I'm a little, maybe later. Our custom of having the president deliver commencement remarks dates back to an episode in the previous century when the invited speaker, distinguished and elderly, approached the podium with a stack of index cards and proceeded to read through them, not once, not twice, but 3 times. 90 minutes later, a new tradition was born. As a graduating senior, I liked hearing from the president. As a faculty member, I liked the brevity. Not until I actually had the responsibility of pulling thoughts together did I harbor any doubts. The epigraph for my remarks comes from the 1839 novel Judith Bensati. The author was Henry Ruffner. He was then the president of Washington College. He evidently had more time on his hands than the current president, or was a far better multitasker. It contains a passage of how groups of college students would go hiking and gaze down on the valley below from high atop a place called House Mountain, a mountain that, in Ruffner's words, hides the setting sun and not infrequently turns the summer showers that come from the west wind. It stands like an island of the air with its huge body and sharp angles to cut the current of the winds asunder. And here's how the students in the novel describe their experience. The little homesteads that spotted the hills and valleys under the mountain, the large farms and country seats farther away, and the bright group of buildings in the village of Lexington relieved the mind from the painful sublimity of the distant prospect and prepared us, after hours of delightful contemplation, to descend from our aerial height and return with gratified feelings to our college and our studies again. Hold that image in your mind, the image of students gazing down upon their world from afar and then returning to their day-to-day lives. I'll come back to it. For now, though, see if you can recall, along with me, what I would describe as your first intellectual epiphany, that moment of youthful insight when you saw something in a different way. It might have been in 4th grade, when a math equation suddenly made perfect sense. Or maybe it was during a music lesson when you heard notes come together in a sequence that struck you as beautiful. Or maybe you watched the tide roll out along a shoreline and leave behind strange creatures that dug into the sand before you could grab one, and you marveled at their movement and the mystery of their destination. Well, mine appeared in 7th grade. I picked up a book called The Red Badge of Courage by Stephen Crane. I can't remember why I read it. A teacher hadn't assigned it. It was not my usual fare, which to that point in my life consisted of Superman comic books and paperback biographies of Mickey Mantle, Yogi Berra, and Willie Mays. I discovered at that moment, clear as day, the power of the written word. As you know, The Red Badge of Courage is the Civil War story of Henry Fleming, a soldier in the Union Army, anxious and fearful of his first battle, but eager to prove his mettle. I read passages over and over again, depictions of brutal fighting, expressions of a young man's conflicted emotions, and vivid portrayals of loss, of death, of command. I was stunned by how a skillful writer could convey through his characters and narrative the moral complexity of pursuing a righteous cause by killing fellow human beings. My discovery of Crane's novel coincided with the discovery of a wider world beyond our neighborhood. Some older kids down the street were being drafted into the military to fight a war in a place called Vietnam. Watching the evening news, which everyone did back in those days, and thinking of Henry Fleming, I sensed how those neighborhood kids must have felt. I could only imagine it, of course, but that was precisely the point. I could imagine it. I began to understand as well the moral debates within our society. Those of us who lived during that time remember the personal losses, but we remember also the uncertainty of knowing what we were fighting for, the divide within our nation, the heated arguments among neighbors over fences in the backyard, and among family members around the dinner table. I remember all of that, and I remember how a work of fiction depicting another time, another place, helped me understand the world in which I lived. A few years later, the country was facing another crisis. President Richard Nixon had been resoundingly reelected in 1972. There had been a few news stories during the election about a burglary in an office complex called Watergate. Nothing major, it seemed, until several months later, the break-in was revealed as the tip of a massive iceberg of political corruption. There were congressional hearings and Supreme Court cases, presidential news conferences, where Nixon proclaimed he was not a crook and would never lie, and suggested that the accomplishments of his presidency should outweigh whatever means he used to pursue them. At the time, I was a student here, taking Professor Buchanan's course in the legislative process. We followed the news closely and even simulated the impeachment hearings, each of us playing our assigned roles. Mine was chief counsel to the majority party in the Senate. On the side, though, I was reading a wonderful novel, mainly to escape from the language of lawyers and constitutional scholars. I had heard about All the King's Men, written by Robert Penn Warren many years before. Here was the fictional political world of Louisiana, the story of a powerful populist governor named Willie Stark, of his admiring and conflicted aides, especially Jack Burton, and of political enemies and scores being settled. In the hands of a skillful writer was yet another complex morality tale, this one about how the raw exercise of power is not the same as leadership. Do the ends justify the means? You can't grow grass without dirt, Machiavelli might have said. Governor Stark put it this way: dirt's a funny thing. Come to think of it, there ain't a thing but dirt on this green God's globe except what's underwater, and that's dirt too. It's dirt makes the grass grow. A diamond ain't a thing in the world but a piece of dirt that gets awful hot. And God Almighty picked up a handful of dirt and blew on it and made you and me and George Washington and mankind blessed in faculty and apprehension. It all depends on what you do with the dirt, that right? Well, I returned to Professor Buchanan's course with a much deeper appreciation of why power corrupts and how our own constitutional order tries mightily to come to grips with a fundamental problem of human nature. A work of literature again helped me see the world differently. Here's one more example. You have heard me say, first when I met you at orientation, that you will remember your 4 years here in this way. At no other time in your life would you grow so much as an individual, yet feel so much a part of a community. Learning how you are different from everyone else, and at the same time learning what you share in common with everyone else, is a balance very, very difficult to achieve. Going too far in one direction diminishes your commitment to others. Going too far in the other direction leads to conformity. A few years ago, the famous French broadcaster Philippe Lebreau, think of him as the Roger Mudd of France, published The Foreign Student. It's a memoir-like novel based on Lebreau's own experience in 1958 as a foreign student attending an unnamed college somewhere in the Shenandoah Valley in Virginia. As the narrator recalls the memories and the setting, see if you can figure out where he was. They come back to haunt me like a piece of music that enfolds me, catapulting me back in time to where the present slips away and memory calls the tune. Whiffs of green lawns, the bubbles of Pabst Blue Ribbon beer over the metallic taste of the chilled can, the scent of the bay rum the boys sprinkled on themselves on Saturday night when an entire male community primped and powdered for the great stampede to any girls' college within a 60-mile radius. Like an overdose streaming into my body, the memories come. The trombones and Stan Kenton's band during the big spring concerts, with all the young people sitting on the lawn. The red mud on the long cement footbridge that crossed a straggling train track and linked the football field to the gym. Comings and goings under the colonnade on a sparkling fall morning with the sun sliding across the grass from behind Lee Chapel. I hear the silence of the campus during classes when, through open windows, a tardy student's anxious steps echoed on the flagstones as he ran. You should read Lebreau's novel for yourself someday. You will be able to imagine what it is like for someone struggling to explain this world we call Washington and Lee in all its complexity and all its distinctiveness. And for someone like him to assimilate himself while not conforming, to love the college, but critically and with detachment. Yet again, a work of literature helped me understand the world around me, and to this day helps me understand a defining characteristic of this university and one of its challenges. So what final lesson do I draw for you from all of this? A couple of weeks ago, there was yet another poll that caused those of my generation to issue the usual laments about your generation. It turns out young men and women don't read for pleasure anymore. That's not a good sign, but that's not where I'm headed. The Red Badge of Courage, All the King's Men, and The Foreign Student were not assigned mandatory readings, but that's not to say I read them for pleasure. Nor is it to make the case for the virtues of what my colleague and distinguished literary scholar Suzanne Keene calls immersive reading. She has done that far better and far more eloquently than I can. Her address during the recent reunion weekend can be found on our website. I have the text if you prefer to, well, immerse yourself in reading about the virtues of immersive reading. The lesson I want to draw is consistent with those, but different. It turns out I do have a worry about society, and your generation especially. Remember those students I mentioned before, the ones atop House Mountain, gazing down on their world from afar? Well, I want you to have a lifetime of House Mountain experiences that allow you to step back occasionally from the world and see it from afar. And I worry not just that those opportunities are harder to come by, but that your generation's capacity for taking advantage of them when they do present themselves has been lessened. You need to have the capacity, the willingness, and the means to sometimes see your world from a different perspective. So let me be clear. I am not talking about idle contemplation or clearing your mind or escaping from the world around you. I'm talking about engaging the issues even more deeply, but with the widened or adjusted angles that come from stepping away from it. Literature works for me. You may well find other ways. There are costs as well as benefits with our brave new hyper-connected, Twitter-based, Instagram-fixated, cell-phone-obsessed LinkedIn world. The quality of argumentation diminishes in direct proportion to the ease of transmitting opinions. The ability to persuade through reasoning and evidence diminishes in direct proportion to the convenience of reading and seeing only what you want to. The world we live in grows ever more complex, yet our angle of perspective grows smaller and smaller, and our vision shrinks accordingly. Unless that is, you find ways to scale those house mountains from time to time and widen your view. There's one last point. Colleges and universities are also deeply connected to the world around them. That's a good thing. And on our best days at Washington and Lee, I think we are connected as well as anyone. Our work in the professional fields, the Poverty Studies program, global learning, environmental studies, the IQ Center, ethics, entrepreneurship, internships, summer opportunity grants, and many, many other examples are exactly the ways that our students can begin to engage the world and solve its problems as they should. But I hope you look back on these 4 years as one of the few times in your lives when you could view the world from something like an academic house mountain. If your time at Washington and Lee allowed you to grow as an individual while belonging to such a close community, maybe there's another feature of W&L you should remember. You will never again find it as easy to detach yourselves from the world around you and take a look from another angle. You will simply have to be more intentional and deliberate about finding those opportunities. I have a few novels I can recommend. With thanks to all of you for sharing your time with us, and on behalf of all of us here at Washington and Lee, I wish you the best of lives. Thank you. We now come to the point in our program when we customarily recognize outstanding individuals whose lives we hold up to you as examples of how you should live yours, whose records of achievement and personal character exemplify this institution's highest ideals. Today, we will bestow 2 honorary doctorates. Will the University Registrar escort Dr. June Aprilli to the front of the podium? I now recognize Provost Daniel Wuba, who will read the honorary degree citation.
June Aprilli, educator, scientist, and leader in higher education. We welcome you back to your Washington and Lee home, where you served as provost from 2007 to 2011. In your 4 years at W&L, you left a lasting mark on the university, advancing many of our most important initiatives and leading us into the new century with boldness and vision. You began your scholarly career with undergraduate work at Washington State University and graduate studies at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. After graduate school, you held postdoctoral fellowships at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, Harvard Medical School, and Massachusetts General Hospital. You then joined the Department of Biology in the School of Medicine at Tufts University, where you quickly rose through the ranks from assistant professor to associate professor to department chair, and eventually to the post of Henry Broomfield Pearson Professor of Natural Sciences. Your research was significant, focusing on mitochondrial physiology and specifically on the chemical nature of the firefly's light, winning grant support from nationally prominent institutes and foundations. In 1986 to 1987, you won the Charlton Fund Research Award for your study entitled Tissue-Specific Cytochrome Deficiencies. 8 graduate students at Tufts completed their doctorates in biology under your supervision. You have authored or co-authored 87 research publications. In 1996, you entered the world of senior administration, becoming associate provost and then vice provost at Tufts, and in 2001, assuming the position of Provost and Vice President of Academic Affairs at the University of Richmond. You served this capacity for 7 years. In 2007, you accepted the position of Provost at Washington and Lee. In your 4 years here, you were instrumental in moving the university forward with its strategic plan and its capital campaign. You introduced significant curricular reforms, including our renovated spring term. You were crucial in securing grants and endowments to support faculty sabbaticals and summer research. And you were a great advocate for the enhancement of science instruction, academic career flexibility, and Mellon Junior Faculty Fellowships. You also are without a doubt one of the best fly fishing experts in the entire university community. June Aprile, educator, scientist, researcher, administrative leader, friend of the university, mentor to so many at Washington and Lee, including our current president, one of the pivotal leaders of the university, and architects of its current standing. It is an honor to bestow on you the degree of Doctor of Science honoris causa.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Science of Washington and Lee University, honoris causa. Will the University Registrar escort Dr. Christopher Pelling to the front of the podium? And I now once again recognize Provost Daniel Wuba, who will read the honorary degree citation.
Christopher Pelling, classicist, scholar, author, teacher, and tutor. We welcome you to a campus that has long admired your scholarship and appreciated your friendship to the students and faculty of this university. You came to classics from an early age, a student of Greek at Cardiff High School in the south of Wales. You went on to earn undergraduate and graduate degrees at Oxford University. After serving briefly on the faculty at Cambridge, you became a fellow and a tutor in classics at University College, Oxford. There, you have taught for nearly 3 decades and now hold one of the most prestigious classicist positions in the world, the Regius Professor in Greek, established in 1541 by Henry VIII. During those years, you welcomed a long line of WNL students and faculty who participated in a successful educational exchange between our 2 institutions. On more than one occasion, you served as a visiting scholar and faculty member at Washington and Lee, and you taught a memorable spring term course on Plutarch and Shakespeare, among other subjects. Both University College and Washington and Lee are among the oldest institutions of higher education in their respective nations. Of course, our nations differ in age. Washington and Lee was founded in 1749, a half a millennium after University College began serving students in 1249. Though separated by an ocean, a revolution, a fundamental disagreement about the meaning of the word football, and 500 years of history, our 2 institutions have benefited from a fortuitous set of circumstances that led to a long and prosperous association. For many years, a steady stream of students and teachers have traveled between Oxford and Lexington to share knowledge and experience in a wide variety of disciplines. Today, we celebrate your many intellectual and personal contributions to that institutional association. and we celebrate in particular your enormous scholarly contributions. You have been a true boundary crosser in your field. You examine what literary text might tell us about history and vice versa, analyzing the great questions of tragedy, poetry, and human affairs that have dominated classical studies for millennia. You have even staked a claim in the burgeoning field of digital humanities. With works on Plutarch, Herodotus, and Greek tragedy, and a series of translations of classical texts, you have established yourself as an internationally recognized scholar of the ancient world. Christopher Perlin, for opening minds to the glories and tragedies of Greek and Roman civilizations, for friendship to Washington and Lee University across the years, for extraordinary scholarship, for service as a tutor and teacher at Oxford University. We honor you today with this degree, Doctor of Letters, honoris causa.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Letters of Washington and Lee University, honoris causa. Well, now to the main event. I now recognize Robert D. Strawn, Associate Dean of the Williams School of Commerce, Economics, and Politics. He will present the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science with special attainments in commerce.
Good morning. Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Commerce please rise? President Ruscio, I have the honor to present for the Bachelor of Science with special attainments in Commerce 109 candidates. They have been examined by the faculty and approved by the Board of Trustees. I ask you, by your official act, to confer upon them this degree.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Washington and Lee University and upon the recommendation of the faculty, I confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Science with special attainments in commerce of Washington and Lee University. Congratulations, and please come forward to receive your diplomas.
Suraj Bajracharya, honors in computer science. Robert Patrick Bell. Zenib Benchakroon. Hunter Harbor Benedict. Ashley J. Bishop. Jason Price Bohr, Jr. Mary Ashley Bowles, cum laude. Hillary Jane Bontempi. Lauren V. Boone. Abby Marie Brown. Rebecca Ann Breyer, cum laude. Stanislav Bunkak. Mark C. Burley. Madeline Campbell Burr. Ann Orgil Budarazzi. Claire Marine Cahill. Grace Carter Carucci. John Baldwin Catlett III. George Breckenridge Kaufman, cum laude. William John George Chester. Mihai Ovidiu Surstia, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. David Lee Cole III. John Gailey Cottrell III, cum laude. Richard Harper Colson. Jackson Brewster Corsi. Harlan Justine Croland. Lee Wyman Cummings. Olivia Ashley Davis. Callie Christine Deddens, cum laude. Monica Elizabeth Devlin, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Aaron B. DeGregorio. Keegan K. Dolan. Michael Philip Dubin. Travis Alexander Evans. Brendan James Farley. Max D. Farrington, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. David Neil Fishman, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Mary E. Fauché. Thomas Alexander Gannon. Kevin Joseph Gill. William Dodge Granruth. Reed W. Greer. Catherine Julia Hagan. Trevor Thomas Hatcher, magna cum laude. William H. Hecht II. James Daniel Helvey. Alexandria Michelle Hensley. Kyle Patrick Hetherington. Taylor Gore Hayden. Anna Lauren Hopkins, cum laude. Ann Walker Howard. Robert Warren Jones. Joshua Isaac Josephson. Drew William Kennevan. Andrew Thomas Kindlen. Julian George Kendrish. Margaret Elliott Klein. Chelsea Burton Kowalczyk, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Max Christian Kraus. Norris L. Lafitte II. Christopher Boyer Landry. Li Zhong Lu, magna cum laude in absentia. Henry Nicholas Luther IV. Giovanni Anthony Marciano. Christian Alexander Martin, cum laude. Brendan Peter McGoldrick. Megan Neal Molesky. Justin Anthony Mitchell. Timothy James Faber Moore. Iziar Murray. Brian Francis Mulady, cum laude. Dylan Patrick Myers, cum laude. John Budlong Ottman III. Michael V. Pallas. Charles Bonner Patrick. Colleen O'Mara Paxton, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Lauren M. Pfeiffer. Danielle Perez Ferrero, in absentia. Henry Randall Portwood, Jr., magna cum laude. Clayton Anthony Pristo. Harry Alexander Razuk. Nathaniel Aaron Reichel. Marion Crawford Rhine. Catherine Angelica Reese. Susan Nell Robinson, cum laude. Samantha Carol Rossier. Allison Nicole Rouse. Jacob Courtney Rudolph IV, cum laude. Sarah Jane Schneider. Meredith Tuck Snyder. John William Straighton III. William Lewis Sullivan. Michelle Lynn Simzak, cum laude. Alexander Scott Tallman, in absentia. John Edwin Taylor IV. Anna York Thomas. John Raymond Terrell V, cum laude. James Peter Terrell. Alexandra Victoria Van Horn. Eric Griffin Windleborn. William Cannon Whitley, Jr. David Weston Williams. Kyle Piquet Whitty. Parker Forrest Wolfinger. Joseph Crockett Wood. Kathleen Ann Yakulis. Albert Eugene Ye. Alexander Courtwright Zelinsky, cum laude. Taylor Michelle Zusai. Congratulations.
You may be seated. I now recognize Larry Peppers, Dean of the Williams School, who will present the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts.
Will the candidates from the Williams School of Commerce, Economics, and Politics for the degree of Bachelor of Arts please rise? President Ruscio, I have the honor to present for the degree of Bachelor of Arts 83 candidates. They have been examined by the faculty and approved by the Board of Trustees. I ask you by your official act to confer upon them this degree.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Washington and Lee University, and upon the recommendation of the faculty, I confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Arts of Washington and Lee University. Congratulations, and please come forward to receive your diplomas.
John Paul Beal. Victoria Lynn Bell. Alexander Barnes Berger. Christopher Gordon Bibb. Mary Elizabeth Bird. John Francis Blizzard. Daniel N. Baccio. Maria Dimitrova Bosnikova. Meade Rice Brewster. Jennifer Ray Bully, cum laude. Allie Catherine Berner, cum laude. Charles Richard Bush II, magna cum laude. Brandon Frederick Churchill. Elizabeth Wilson Close. Margaret Ashley Cole. Hei-Ing Sway. Devon Lauren Daly. Sean Kelly Devlin, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. James Edwin Dillard IV. Catherine Ann Dinicenzo. Mark P. Fabian. Dylan McDonald Florig, cum laude. Andrew McGregor Gates. Sean Irwin Gebhard. Carolyn Hodges Gill, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Thomas Joseph Jorgensen Grosbeck. Matthew T. Hesser, cum laude. John Murray Hewell. Harry Hill IV, in absentia. David Jonathan Howe, Jr. Kyung Chen Chung, magna cum laude. Sarah Clayton Jesse. Ellison G. Johnstone, magna cum laude. James Kenton Jones III, in absentia. Sophia Charlotte Kearney Letterman, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Jordan Taylor Kearns, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Malcolm Patterson Kurz, Jr. Nathan Anderson Kelly. Vincent Otay Kim, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Katja Elizabeth Klein. Aaron Mayer Klegman. James Brandon Lewis, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Virginia Payne Lowe. Annalise Elisa Madison, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Richard Marmestein, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Julia McGowan Martin. Christian Alexander Martin, cum laude. Sophia Marie Maxted. Hyacinth Alexandria McKinley. Lauren Ashley Mishnick. Kingsley Quinn Mooney. Julia Elizabeth Murray, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Carrie McCullough O'Brien. Peter Stone Partee, Jr. William Meredith Lee Peasley. Sally A. Platt. Nathan Albert Pleen, cum laude. George Risman Poindexter. Juan Manuel Polanco Talavera. Alexandra Nicole Prather. Cindy Rivas Murcia, magna cum laude. Michael Gregory Savas, in absentia. Jeffrey Richard Schulte, Jr. Jonathan David Sells. Eric Matthew Schumann, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Stephen Hubert Sims, Jr. Todd C. Smith Schoenwalder. Marie Louise Spear. Kevin Patrick Sullivan. Sharia Yvette Taylor. Kane Thomas. Min Tik Quan Tun. Duke Ank Tran. Kevin Jeffrey Travelin. Caleb Elvin Walker. Kelsey Reese Wall. Evan Massey Ware. Timothy Joseph Werner. Samuel Yates Wilburn. Julia Helen Wingfield. Greta Bradford Witter, cum laude. Nicholas Andreas Unitas. Congratulations.
You may be seated, thank you. I now recognize Marcia France, Associate Dean of the College, who will present candidates from the College for the degree of Bachelor of Science.
Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science please rise? President Ruscio, I have the honor to present for the degree of Bachelor of Science 98 candidates. They have been examined by the faculty and approved by the Board of Trustees. I ask you by your official act to confer upon them this degree.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Washington and Lee University and upon the recommendation of the faculty, I confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Science of Washington and Lee University. Congratulations, and please come forward to receive your diplomas.
Catherine Ann Armstrong, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Alexander Kino Anderson Baca. Mary Adams Bacon, cum laude. William Edward Banks. Shelby Winship Berida. Michael Forrest Bainey. Alexis Ann Blight, cum laude. Anna Catherine Bowden, cum laude. Thomas William Bowen, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Rebecca Marie Brown. Melissa Eve Campion, magna cum laude. Allison J. Shuragos, cum laude. Zachary Hayward Clark. Hannah Ruth Crowder. Erin Gretchen Dingler, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Christopher George Dennison, cum laude. Amelia Rose DiGiovanni, cum laude. Philip Curtis Dishik, magna cum laude. Ryan Atticus Doherty, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Catherine Elizabeth Dreest, Honors in Chemistry, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Emily Lauren Fogo, cum laude. Avery Oliver Gant. Robert Clark Gerbo, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Jenna Catherine Glavey, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Thomas Jorgensen Grosbeck. Nde Fatu Gay, cum laude. Nicole Samara Gunawanza, Phi Beta Kappa, cum laude. Colin Edward Hagenbarth. Riley Afton Hampsh. Alyssa Page Hardnett, Honors in Mathematics. Meredith Allen Hardy. Douglas Richard Hilbert, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Catherine Page Hintz, cum laude. William Parker Howard. Daniel G. Shu, cum laude. Jin Huang. Emily Catherine Hudson. Lily Jane Hudson. Thomas Harlan Hundley. Daniel A. Eigel. David Ray Ireland. Christopher Winthrop Ives Jr., Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Kelly Lee Jarrell. Catherine Lee Jarrell. Patrick Jacob Jennings. Lauren Eileen Kasoff, magna cum laude. Jordan Taylor Kearns, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Vincent Otay Kim, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Andrew Eli Kimberly, cum laude. Garrett Heath Kohler. Harutiun Anthony Kuchinian. Meredith Taylor Lavin. Rebecca H. Lawrence, cum laude. Joseph Liu, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Nicholas C. Lombardo. Olivier Mahame, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Richard Marmerstein, Honors in Computer Science, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Samuel Peter Edward Mason. David Paul McKinnon. Jared Mitchell. John Paul Mugabe, magna cum laude. Eric Daniel Notari. Christine A.C. Pence, magna cum laude. Michelle M. Ponder, cum laude. Breton Knox Pope. Michael Louis Raffetto. Zan Raza, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Anton Damer Reed. John Matthew Reuter. Mary Fitchett Robertson. Karen Arlene Roth, Honors in Geology, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Juliana Rose Satterley. Erica Lynn Schwotzer, Honors in Chemistry, cum laude. Andrew Michael Saradinsky, Honors in Physics, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Darby Caroline Schuler, cum laude. Eric Matthew Schumann, Honors in Psychology, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Benjamin L. Simmons. Brian Matthew Simpson. Haley Elizabeth Smith, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Jasmine Marie Sue, magna cum laude. Julie Janelle Sorensen. Alyssa Ann Stoops. Braden Matthew Saminsky, magna cum laude. Justin Scott Tenbrook. Elvin George Thomas, Honors in Engineering. Michael Wayne Thomas. Robert William Travis. Wended Tu, Honors in Mathematics, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Alexandria Shaw Vidito. Emily Ann Warner. Caroline Parker Wass, cum laude. Olive Hayes Waxter. Sarah Elizabeth Williams. Adrian Williamson IV. Kelsey Lee Witherspoon. Kendall Coleman Vanook. Lauren Nicole Woody, Honors in Biology. Wawa Yin. Congratulations.
You may be seated. Thank you. I now recognize Suzanne Keene, Thomas H. Broadus Professor of English and Dean of the College, who will present the candidates from the college for the degree of Bachelor of Arts.
Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts please rise? President Ruscio, I have the honor to present for the degree of Bachelor of Arts 150 candidates. They have been examined by the faculty and approved by the Board of Trustees. I ask you by your official act to confer upon them this degree.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Washington and Lee University and upon the recommendation of the faculty, I confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Arts of Washington and Lee University. Congratulations, and please come forward to receive your diplomas.
Joseph Miles Abel IV. Ellen Margaretta Archie, cum laude. Catherine Ann Armstrong, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Ebony L. Bailey, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Catherine Crick Ballou. Giles Detweiler Beale IV, honors in history. Catherine Mary Bennett, cum laude. Laura Mitchell Berry. Matthew J. Bittner, cum laude. Christine Chandler Black, honors in sociology and anthropology, cum laude. Catherine McGreal Brennan. John Lawrence Brooke IV. Emily Grace Bruner, cum laude. Charlotte S. Birch. Jonathan Hamilton Cahill, cum laude. Jacqueline M. Calicchio. Melissa Eve Campion, magna cum laude. Victoria Kate Cervantes. Brian Thomas Clark. Charlotte Ann Collins. Emily Grace Comer, honors in independent work, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Hillary Faith Cooper, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Kelsey Nichelle Corbett. Mary Kelsey Cotter. Taylor Aldridge Cottingham. Emily Grace Crawford. Elizabeth Howard Crenshaw. Robert Forrest Chrissy Jr. Shannon Aaron Cusack. Lee Marie Danhauser. Jamie Ann Davis. Melissa Marie Derby. Ryan Atticus Doherty, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Cameron David Dorsey. Chase McBride Douglas. Laura Beth Ellis. Kathleen Rose Fitzgerald. Anne Townsend Fremming. William Michael Fullwider, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Johann Manuel Garcia Padilla, cum laude. Ashley Suzanne Gerard. Robert Clark Gerbo, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Cole Edwards Glasgow, in absentia. Elizabeth Mercer Goodell. Michael William Gorman. Alexandra Christine Hagan. Haley L. Hartley. Lauren Nicole Hatfield, honors in sociology and anthropology. Nathaniel Stephen Hayes. Nataki Lakay Hemmings. Virginia Claire Higginbotham, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Kirsten Ann Yelm. Connor Allen Hollenbeck. Lauren Nicole Howry, honors in theater, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. William P. Hubbard. Brandy Lee Huffman, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Sarah Jean Hugg, cum laude. Audrey Banta Humlecker, cum laude. Robert Bonner Humphreys. Catherine Kuri Ibrahim. Catherine Lee Gerald, cum laude. Augustin Marcello Kim, in absentia. Parker W. King. Robert Woodford Knuth. Paul Martin Kuvek IV. Courtney Suzanne Lewis. Li Jiang Liu, magna cum laude, in absentia. Christina Lynn Lowry, honors in German language. Morgan Elizabeth Lutig, magna cum laude. Isabella Gabrielle Martin, honors in English, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Alice Gwathmey Mathai. Lacey Reed McAllister. Kelsey Elizabeth McClary. Mary Virginia McGarry. Taylor Paris McPherson. William L. Metzger. Oliver Reed Miltonberger. Chelsea C. Mixon. Colin Michael Monax. Caroline Marie Morgan. Joseph Railton Morgan II, Honors in Classics, cum laude. Maureen Elizabeth Nalepa, Honors in English. Logan Michael Nardo, cum laude. Hillary Morgan Nelson. Amanda Walton Newton, cum laude. Sarah Ivy Nexon. Quincy Ogochukwu Emmanuel Wakibu. Andrew Felix Ogburn. Elizabeth Dalton Olson. Elizabeth Trout Parrott, cum laude. Abigail Elaine Padroni. Christine A.C. Pence, Honors in Philosophy, magna cum laude. Michelle M. Ponder, cum laude. Astrid Victoria Pruitt. Walter Andrew Ramsey. Zan Raza, Honors in Philosophy, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Helen Collins Rice. Maya Rudy Robbins. Meredith Nicole Roberts, cum laude. Bridget O'Mara Rooney. Karen Arlene Roth, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Evelyn Marie Rupert, cum laude. Caleb Archer Russell. Mai Hung Ryu, cum laude. Kingsley Manning Schrader, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Andrew Michael Saradinsky, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Loren Marie Alice Simonis, Honors in Medieval and Renaissance Studies, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Haley Elizabeth Smith, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Nicholas Patrick Smith. Andrew John Sorgel. Mark A. Sawinski, Honors in History, magna cum laude. James Richard Francis Spencer. Anne Pierce Stafford. Elizabeth Grace Stites. James Harry Ballou Stevenson. George William Hawkins Stewart, cum laude. Claire Marie-Louise Stevenson, cum laude. Leanne Elizabeth Stone. Sarah Elizabeth Streeper. Jake Elijah Strubing, Honors in English, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Sarah Campbell Strunk. Allison Lee Swagler. Sean Robert Swaney. Laura Lindsay Tatum, cum laude. Lucas Broderick Turner. Virginia Hawthorne Terry. Sarah Greer Theus, cum laude. Mitchell Clive Thompson. Madeline Grace Thorpe, cum laude. Angelica Tillander, cum laude. Margaret Duncan Tolmie. Keith Marcus Trump III, honors in music, cum laude. Michael E. Unholtz. Sarah Jean Vallon. Victoria Hart Van Natten, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Tyler Hope Van Riper, honors in English, magna cum laude. Blake Elizabeth Vessa. Alexandra Marie Vyers. Travis Kyle Wakeman. Iva Johanna Weidenkeller, cum laude. Alexandra Elizabeth Weiss. Clara Elizabeth Weston. Lawrence Arthur Whitaker III. Angela Grace Williams. Sarah Elizabeth Williams, honors in English. Kelsey Lee Witherspoon. Thomas C. Wolfe, honors in independent work, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Jordan Perry Yost. Virginia Winston Young, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Matthew G. Zemer, honors in sociology and anthropology. Isabella Marie Zarowski, cum laude. Congratulations.
Please be seated. And please join me in once again congratulating the entire class of 2014. Well, it is now my duty to bring us to our conclusion. To our graduates, let me note the obvious. In just a few short moments, your student days will be relegated to that portion of your mind reserved for memories. The letter or email you receive from the admissions office, first-year check-in day, the early morning walks across the footbridge from the sorority houses to class, the final football, lacrosse, or volleyball game of your career as a general, your senior recital, Goshen Pass, fancy dress, mock convention, the staff member who cared about you during a rough patch, the faculty member who discovered within you an aptitude for art, science, or philosophy and nurtured it into a passion. The friends you made who will be part of your lives forever, who will celebrate with you in the years to come marriages, the birth of your children, and your accomplishments. This afternoon, with your departure, the university, in your eyes, will begin its inexorable decline away from the way you will fondly remember it. And yes, when the history of the university is finally written, it will be recorded that Washington and Lee reached its peak sometime in May 2014. And I and my successors will surely hear from you in the years to come, asking what in the world is going on. But just as surely, you will reconcile in your own minds that as much as you loved it for all that it meant to you when you were here, it gets better, as it should, with each passing day, each passing year, and each new generation of students. Pause for one final second and contemplate the setting in which you find yourselves, one of the most beautiful in higher education. Behind you is Washington Hall, named after one of the most consequential figures in our history. In front of you is Lee Chapel, named after a man who shaped in so many ways the education you have experienced these last few years. Consider the legacy that has been handed down to you here today, manifested in such perfect architectural alignment. Forever, you will be known as a graduate of this university, and you should carry that distinction not only with pride, but also with responsibility and a sense of honor. Come back frequently, and know that while the geographic bonds that between you and the university will not change, or will change, the bonds of friendship with the people you have come to know will endure and grow even stronger. Think of us often, just as we will continue to think of you. We wish you well, Godspeed, and good luck. We are adjourned.
Shop.